What if I told you there's a hidden gold mine sitting in forgotten barnyards and overgrown fields across America, rusty relics that most people walk past without a second glance, but savvy entrepreneurs are transforming into six-figure paydays? Welcome to Kingdom Cash, where today we're diving deep into the explosive world of tractor restorations that are quietly minting fortunes for those bold enough to see the treasure in the rust. Listen, while everyone's chasing the latest crypto trend or drop-shipping gadget, an underground movement of restoration entrepreneurs is capitalizing on something far more tangible and profitable. We're talking about vintage tractors, machines that farmers and collectors will pay absolute premium prices for when they're brought back to their former glory. And here's the kicker. The barriers to entry are lower than you think, the profit margins are insane, and the demand is skyrocketing as agricultural nostalgia meets modern collecting culture. The tractor restoration business isn't just about fixing up old farm equipment, it's about understanding market psychology, identifying undervalued assets, and creating premium products that command serious money. We're going to break down the most profitable, under-the-radar restoration niches that are generating massive returns right now. These aren't your typical, restore a John Deere and sell it approaches. We're going deeper into specialized markets that most people don't even know exist. The orphan brand resurrection strategy. Here's where it gets interesting. While everyone's fighting over John Deere and Farmall tractors, there's a forgotten category that's producing extraordinary profits: orphan brands. These are tractor manufacturers that went out of business decades ago. Brands like Silver King, Graham Bradley, and Cockshut. Most people have never heard of them, which is exactly why this strategy works. Here's the play. These orphan brand tractors can be acquired for pennies on the dollar because sellers don't know their value, and most buyers are intimidated by the parts scarcity. But here's what the smart money knows. There's a dedicated, almost cult-like following of collectors who are absolutely desperate for restored models of these rare machines. We're talking about tractors you can pick up for $500 to $1,500 that, once properly restored, sell for $25,000 to $45,000. The profit potential here is staggering. A single Silver King model from the 1940s, which you might find rusting behind a barn for $1,000, can fetch $35,000 after a quality restoration. That's a $34,000 profit on one unit. Do 3 of these per year, and you're looking at over $100,000 in profit, working part-time from your garage or workshop. The secret weapon? 3D printing and modern fabrication technology have completely changed the parts problem. You can now manufacture reproduction parts for these orphan brands at a fraction of what it would have cost even 5 years ago. Partner with a local machinist, or invest in your own equipment, and suddenly, you've got a competitive advantage that positions you as the go-to expert for these rare restorations. The Industrial Tractor Museum Flip. Now let's talk about a strategy that combines restoration with strategic market positioning. Museums, heritage centers, and agricultural education facilities are constantly looking for restored tractors for displays and demonstrations. But here's where most people miss the opportunity. These institutions have budgets specifically allocated for acquisitions, and they're willing to pay premium prices for documented, historically accurate restorations. The play here is to identify tractors with significant historical value, perhaps a model that was the first to introduce a particular innovation, or one that was manufactured in limited numbers during a specific historical period. You're not just restoring a tractor, you're creating a documented historical artifact with provenance papers, historical research, and period-correct restoration. A strategic restoration aimed at the institutional market can generate profits of $40,000 to $70,000 per unit. Let's break down a real scenario. Acquire a 1950s Hart Par model in rough condition for $2,000. Invest $8,000 to $12,000 in a meticulous, documented restoration. Present it to agricultural museums and heritage centers with a full historical portfolio. Sale price? $60,000 to $80,000. Net profit? $45,000 to $65,000 on a single project. The beauty of this approach is that institutional buyers aren't as price-sensitive as individual collectors because they're working with grant money and specific acquisition budgets. Plus, every sale you make builds your reputation and creates referrals within the museum community. You're not just building a business, you're building a brand as a preservation expert. The overseas export explosion. Here's a strategy that'll blow your mind because it's happening right now, and most American entrepreneurs are completely sleeping on it. International tractor exports. Collectors in Europe, Australia, and parts of Asia are paying absolutely insane prices for authentic American vintage tractors. We're talking about price premiums of 50 to 200% over domestic market values. Why? American agricultural heritage has massive appeal internationally. A fully restored Alice Chalmers or Minneapolis Moline that might sell for $25,000 in the US can easily fetch $45,000 to $60,000 in European markets. The profit math becomes even more attractive when you factor in that acquisition costs remain US-based while you're capturing international premium pricing. The key to maximizing this opportunity is understanding international regulations, shipping logistics, and building relationships with overseas dealers and collectors. Yes, there's a learning curve, but once you establish these channels, you've created a business moat that keeps competitors at bay. The investment in learning export documentation and building overseas relationships can generate an additional $30,000 to $50,000 profit per unit compared to domestic sales. Consider this scenario. You restore 4 tractors per year specifically targeting the European collector market. Each restoration nets you an additional $40,000 in profit compared to domestic sales. That's $160,000 in extra annual profit just from understanding and leveraging international demand. This isn't theory. Restoration shops that have cracked this code are operating with 6-month backlogs and waiting lists.
Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe so you never miss out on our latest tips and tricks for building your empire. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we drop more game-changing business ideas. And hey, if you're serious about taking your side hustle to the next level, check out our exclusive resources and courses down there too.
The micro-tractor premium market. Let's pivot to something completely different that most restoration entrepreneurs never consider. Micro-tractors and garden tractors from the 1960s and 70s. These compact machines, think Wheel Horse, Boland's, Simplicity, and Cub Cadet, are experiencing an absolute renaissance among suburban hobby farmers, vintage lawn equipment collectors, and homesteaders. Here's why this market is pure gold. Acquisition costs are ridiculously low because most people don't see these as valuable. You can find these machines at estate sales, auctions, and yard sales for $50 to $300. They're small enough to transport in a pickup truck, store easily, and restore quickly. But here's the profit kicker. Fully restored, show-quality micro-tractors are selling for $4,000 to $8,000 to passionate collectors and homesteaders who want reliable, vintage equipment for their properties. The profit margins are exceptional. Acquire a Wheel Horse C-Series for $200, invest $600 in parts and restoration, and sell it for $5,000. That's over $4,000 in profit on something you can complete in weekend workshop sessions over a month. Scale this to completing 1 per month, and you're generating $50,000 in annual profit from micro-tractors alone. The genius of this niche is the volume potential. While full-size tractor restorations might take 3 to 6 months, you can complete micro-tractor restorations in weeks. This means faster inventory turnover, quicker cash flow, and the ability to scale by bringing on part-time help or developing assembly line efficiencies in your process. The conversion and modernization premium. Now we're getting into advanced territory that's generating some of the highest profit margins in the entire restoration industry. Specialty conversions and modernizations. This is where you take vintage tractors and strategically upgrade them with modern convenience features while maintaining their classic aesthetic and collectible value. We're talking about conversions like electric start systems for hand-crank tractors, modern hydraulic systems, improved lighting packages, and even custom paint jobs that reference the original manufacturer's palette, but with modern automotive-grade finishes. Some restoration shops are even doing electric powertrain conversions, creating vintage-looking tractors with zero emissions and modern torque characteristics. The profit opportunity here is enormous because you're creating something truly unique that commands premium pricing. A standard restoration of a Farmel M might sell for $18,000. That same tractor with a professional conversion package, modern electrical, upgraded hydraulics, custom paint, and comfort features can easily command $35,000 to $45,000. Your additional investment in the conversion might be $5,000 to $7,000, but you're capturing an extra $15,000 to $20,000 in profit. Wealthy hobby farmers and collectors absolutely eat this up because they get the nostalgic aesthetic they want combined with the reliability and convenience of modern systems. You're solving the fundamental tension in vintage equipment ownership. They want the classic look but hate the maintenance headaches and operational limitations. Think about the scalability here. Develop signature conversion packages that you can replicate across multiple tractor models. Create a brand around modernized classics that positions you as the premier shop for clients who want the best of both worlds. You're not competing on price anymore. you're competing on unique value proposition. Projects like these can generate $40,000 to $60,000 in profit per unit, and you can command deposits and extended timelines because you're creating custom premium products. The education and content leverage play. Here's where business strategy meets restoration expertise in a way that creates exponential profit potential. Documentation and content creation. As you're building your restoration business, simultaneously document your processes, techniques, and projects through video content, courses, and educational products. The restoration community is hungry for quality education. Enthusiasts want to learn restoration techniques. Newcomers need guidance on getting started, and even experienced restorers are looking for specialized knowledge on particular systems or brands. By creating premium courses, detailed restoration guides, and membership communities, you're building a parallel revenue stream that scales independently of your physical restoration capacity. Let's talk numbers. A comprehensive online course on tractor restoration, fundamentals priced at $497, marketed to your growing audience, needs just 20 students per month to generate $10,000 monthly, $120,000 annually, in pure digital profit with near zero marginal costs. Add membership communities at $49 monthly, specialized mini-courses, and affiliate relationships with parts suppliers, and you're building a six-figure digital business alongside your restoration work. The genius of this strategy is the synergy. Your restoration projects provide authentic content for your educational products. Your educational platform builds your brand and attracts restoration clients willing to pay premium prices because they've learned from you and trust your expertise. You're creating a flywheel effect where each business component amplifies the others. Consider this. A successful restoration entrepreneur implementing this strategy might generate $80,000 from physical restoration projects, $120,000 from digital education products, and another $40,000 from affiliate relationships and sponsored content. That's $240,000 in annual revenue with diversified income streams that aren't entirely dependent on your physical labor. The corporate and promotional restoration channel. Here's a profit angle that almost nobody is exploiting. Corporate and promotional restorations. Major agricultural equipment manufacturers, seed companies, chemical companies, and agribusiness corporations are constantly looking for vintage equipment for trade shows, promotional events, anniversary celebrations, and corporate headquarters displays. These corporate clients have completely different budget structures than individual collectors. They're not price shopping. They're looking for quality, reliability, and professional presentation. A restoration project for John Deere's visitor center or a vintage tractor for Monsanto's trade show booth might command $75,000 to $150,000 because you're not just restoring a tractor, you're creating a branded corporate asset with specific presentation requirements and timelines. The profit margins here can be exceptional because corporate clients expect to pay premium prices for professional service. Your restoration costs might be $20,000, but you're billing $80,000 to $120,000 for the project. Your project management, delivery, and ongoing maintenance agreements. That's $60,000 to $100,000 profit on a single corporate client. Building relationships in this space requires professional marketing, a portfolio showcasing previous high-quality work, and the operational capacity to meet corporate deadlines and standards. But once you land one corporate client, referrals within the agribusiness world can create a steady pipeline of high-ticket projects. The specialized implement restoration expansion. Let's expand beyond just tractors to the implements and attachments that multiply your profit opportunities. Vintage plows, cultivators, balers, and specialized farm equipment. Collectors who invest in restored tractors inevitably want correct implements to complete their collections, and they'll pay substantial premiums for professionally restored equipment. The beautiful part of this expansion strategy is that implements are often available for even less than tractors, sometimes free if you're willing to haul them away. A vintage plow that costs you nothing but transportation might sell for $3,000 to $6,000 after restoration. Vintage hay balers, corn pickers, and other specialized equipment can command $8,000 to $15,000 in restored condition. Building a business around complete farm sets, a restored tractor with matching implements, allows you to command package pricing that exceeds the sum of individual parts. A tractor selling for $30,000 with a complete set of restored implements might package for $50,000 to $60,000, creating additional profit of $10,000 to $15,000 by presenting a complete collection. This strategy also creates natural upsell opportunities with existing clients. Someone who purchased a restored tractor from you last year becomes a qualified lead for implement sales this year. You're building a customer base that continues generating revenue over time, rather than one-off transactions. The restoration business we're describing isn't just about fixing up old tractors, it's about building a multifaceted enterprise that generates income from physical restorations, specialized niche markets, international sales, digital education, corporate clients, and complementary products. The entrepreneurs succeeding in this space are thinking strategically about market positioning, profit margins, and scalable business models. The total profit potential across these strategies is substantial. A focused entrepreneur implementing just 2 or 3 of these approaches could realistically generate $250,000 to $400,000 in annual profit within 3 years of starting. The most successful restoration businesses we're seeing are generating 7 figures annually by mastering multiple channels and building teams to scale beyond personal capacity. What makes this opportunity particularly attractive for entrepreneurs is the combination of tangible assets, multiple profit centers, relatively low digital competition compared to saturated online markets, and the ability to start small and scale progressively. You're not fighting against overseas manufacturers or algorithm changes. You're building expertise and relationships in a specialized market with passionate customers. The key to success is approaching this as a serious business rather than a hobby. Successful restoration entrepreneurs are implementing proper business systems, marketing strategically, building brands, documenting processes, and thinking about scalability from day one. They're tracking metrics, optimizing workflow, and continuously looking for higher profit opportunities within the market. Thanks for tuning into Kingdom Cash, where we turn ideas into income. Remember, as you build your online empires, be kind, be humble, and be generous. The world needs more of that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Kingdom Cash.